Okay, hi, welcome to Module 2, Part 2 of the Radical Self-Care Revolution. And in this module, I want to talk about stress, how we can deal with it, how we can reduce it, and how we can proceed on to being calmer, more resourceful. So stress can come in loads of different forms. You can have the underlying ongoing stress that is just there bubbling away. You can have peaks of stressful moments. For instance, if you get into an argument with someone, or someone gives you a project or something that needs to be done and it's just too much on top of what you already have. There's the stress of like an emergency. So for instance, if someone gets hurt or there's a fire and you need to deal with that really stressful situation in the moment. So all these situations have different ways of dealing with them, but they all result in a similar thing that goes on in our body, which is cortisol and adrenaline going crazy, that fight or flight feeling. And so what we want to do is have tools that can help us deal with our own selves if we're in these stressful situations. So a quote that I read the other day was, the time to relax is when you feel like you don't have the time, by someone called Sydney Harris, and I thought it was just perfect. So in our lives today, when we're so busy and the word stress seems to be flung around, you often hear people saying, oh gosh, I'm so stressed at the moment. And this idea that we haven't got time to spend on things that perhaps don't feel that productive, such as breathing, exercise, meditation, sleep. It's so important, it's essential. We need these things. This is what's going to help us deal with that feeling of stress. If you don't deal with stress, it will carry on. And there comes a point where stress can get so bad that you can get ill, you can have a breakdown. Your body can't continuously be under huge stress. So we need to deal with it, and we need to make our body calm. One really helpful way is the word stop. Each letter has a meaning. It's a really good thing to remember if you're in a moment of stress. So the S is stop for a moment. The T is to take some deep breaths. Take some big belly breaths. Obviously we're breathing all the time, but this is conscious breathing. This is breathing through your nose, filling up your belly, holding it for a few seconds, and then just letting it out. So just take a couple of breaths. Then the O is observe. Observe how you're feeling in your body. Observe what's going on around you. Observe even just things. There's my hand, there's a chair, there's the light. You're basically trying to just pause and just sort of put a breaker on everything that's happening in the moment. And the P is proceed. Proceed with doing something that is helpful for you in that situation. Now, this could be talking to a friend who is supportive and uplifting. It can be getting outside into nature, going for a walk. It can be jumping up and down, doing a little bit of exercising or stretching. It can be moving your shoulders, lifting them up high, dropping them down. It can be squeezing that tension that's in your shoulder. All these things are going to help you calm. Go and get yourself a glass of water. Moving away from a situation, whatever it may be, is always helpful. You can come back. But in that moment when you're feeling overwhelmed or anxiety, going to get a glass of water, pausing, drinking the water which hydrates you and helps you deal with stress is amazing. Now, caffeine can be a drink that lots of people crave and use, especially in stressful situations, but in the long run, it's a stimulant. It can add to your stress, so it is better to have alternatives such as herbal teas and water. Alcohol's the same, and nicotine. So they are things that we seem to sort of fall onto when we're stressed, but actually they're adding to our stress. So these should be cut down and eliminated eventually, because that will help you become calmer and more grounded. So another relaxation technique you can use, especially in the moment, is having a kind of word mantra. And you want to pick a word that has like a lovely high vibration that resonates with you, something such as joy, calm, love, and you can just say it in your head repeatedly if you're feeling overwhelmed. So for instance, if you were in a stressful situation, perhaps someone was sort of talking at you and it wasn't a very comfortable situation, you could be saying in your head, love, 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 love. It's really calming. It works. You can come back to it throughout the day. You can set a timer, a pinger on your phone to remind you, just to say it a few times. I love this. I think it's so simple and yet it helps. Another thing to remember is that you can say no. We don't have to say yes to everything. It's good to have boundaries. It's good to know what serves us and what doesn't. This can be something that's hard to do to begin with and can take practice. And something that I found really helpful is to give myself a buffer or some time and to use a phrase such as, can I think about that and get back to you? So I'm letting the person know that it's not a definite yes or no. I'm giving myself the space to go away and to think, how does this sit with me? Do I actually want to take on this thing? Is it going to serve me? Is it going to add to my stress? And then I can think about my reasons and go back to that person without feeling under pressure that I just have to say yes and then adding to my stress. Physical activity is a great one. So things like yoga or running, anything physical, if you can do it consistently, this is going to help your body deal better with anxiety and stress. It's going to help you sleep better at night. And sleep is super, super important. For me, the moment I wake up until I go to bed will dictate how my sleep is going to be that night. So I want to be doing things like getting outside, meditating, breathing, hydrating myself, having baths with sorry, my cat, with magnesium salts. Magnesium is amazing. If you haven't tried it, you can get a spray that you can put on your body. You can get flakes to put in your bath. Most of us are deficient in magnesium. So having a magnesium bath is great because your body, your skin is the largest organ. It absorbs it, and magnesium helps you to be calmer. It reduces anxiety. So this is a great one, and it will help you sleep, and obviously it's really good for your skin. So definitely try that. And aromatherapy as well. Things like lavender, chamomile, cedarwood, vetiver, patchouli. I mean, a lot of them are adaptogenic, so they will work if you want to be stimulated or relaxed. But there's some that are ultra relaxing. And you can go by, if you're drawn to it and you like the smell, that's normally one that's really good for you. You can have that nearby. If you're in a stressful situation, just inhale a bit, a couple of drops on your inner wrist is brilliant. And another physical thing that is great is Rescue Remedy. The act of moving away from a stressful situation and doing something like taking Rescue Remedy is a little bit like that word stop that I said at the beginning. So you're actually physically removing yourself, you're doing something positive. So it's breaking that cycle, it's breaking that negative spiral that you might be in. Having a group such as this, social support, is proven to help reduce stress. Having a safe space to offload, to share, to be supported, to be uplifted is really, really helpful. So please use our Facebook group as much as possible. Let it out and let us help you. Or message me if you're feeling really stressed. I'm here to help. Another thing you can say to yourself is, I am safe, all is well, calming your body. You know, we're not in that day and age now where we're having to sort of fight or flight, you know, getting away from an animal that might be killing us. It's very rare that we're in a situation where we really need to get our body moving and, you know, dealing with that type of stress. And yet our body still acts like it's in that situation. So what we need to do is to use the tools, and all the things I've mentioned in this video help to calm our body and to help us deal more effectively with anxiety and stress and overwhelm. So I hope it's been helpful. There's just a few tips. There is loads more, but that's a start.